Hello everyone and a very warm welcome to today's tutorial. In today's tutorial, we will extract PDF form data and update it in a SharePoint column, and it will be done using a Nintex workflow. So let me quickly open this file and show you. So this particular file has got three fields: name, phone number, and an email address. Our end goal is to extract data from these fields and update it in these columns out here, that is given name, email address, and phone number. I'll select the document and first run the workflow and show you the output. So I'll click on the three dots and then more and then the workflow. I'll click on extract metadata workflow. Okay, all these steps that you see out here, I'm going to explain it step by step. So we will just start the workflow for now and see the output. Perfect. So if you see that our workflow has ran successfully and it gives you the output like the name, the email address, and the phone number. If you compare it with this document, this is exactly what we wanted. So let me do some cleanup out here. Let me delete this file. Let me go to another folder. The folder name is XML. So I'll delete all the files from here because this is where we are going to export the XML and then extract the fields from it. I'll go back to legal review and I'll go into the Nintex workflow. I'll create a new list workflow. And here, my friends, the first thing that I'm going to do is add the Muhimbi convert document action. So I'll click on configure and I need to put in a place or a URL where the XML file needs to be written. I'll click on the document and this time I'm going to edit the document using the PDF editor for SharePoint. The PDF editor for SharePoint helps you edit documents, add annotations, and also signatures within the context of SharePoint. What I told you is just the beginning. You can also do redaction, add images, text, etc., etc. But for this particular demo, I'll just leave it at editing the PDF. I have added the content and I'll click on save. So what I want to do is I'll select the document and I'll try to run the first step of our workflow. Okay, I'll go to workflow and Nintex extract demo fields, and it has just the one step. So I'm going to run it. Perfect. So the workflow has ran. And if I go to the XML, you see that there's an XML being created and it has all the values. Understand this. Muhimbi converter has exported the editable PDF as an XML format using one single action. Okay, let me just close the other tabs. And let me open the workflow again. Perfect. Next, what I want to do is extract the fields from that, right? So I need to query the XML. So I'll click here and I'll drag and drop query XML action to the designer. To the query XML, to the query XML action, I need to pass in the file. Or you say the URL, because the URL is where the file is stored. So let me go back here. Let me go to XML and this is the URL. I'll just paste the URL here. And here I need to pass in the base file name or the file name without the extension. So if I go to insert reference and if I go to item properties, I do not see anything that tells me a file without an extension or a base file name. So I need to get that first. I need to get the base file name. To get the base file name, I'll first use a regular expression. So I'll just drag it here. And what will I do? I'll first create a variable of single line text. So I'll say base file name and I'll save it. Okay, and I'll close it. So to this, I need to add a pattern. I'll also leave this pattern in the description section below of the video. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on extract and I need to pass in an input text. So to the input text, I'll pass in the name parameter. Perfect. And this, my friends, I'll store it in another variable. So let me create a variable here and understand this. Regular expressions are stored in a collection. So I need to create a collection. And I'll give it a name, base file name 1. Right? We have a base file name and a base file name 1 variable, and the base file name 1 variable will be the variable that I'm going to store this entire collection. I'll click on save. So next I want to get the variable out of the collection. So I'll click on the collection operator and I'll drag and drop it in here. So I'll configure the collection. Perfect. So in the configure collection, I'll pass in the base file name 1, the collection name that I wanted. I'll click on get. And here, my friends, I need to pass in an index. The initial index, that is 0. Understand this? Collection is like an array and you need to get the initial index. So I'll just give it a name, initial 0, and I'll click on save and I'll close and I'll set initial 0 and I'll store the result in the base file name. Perfect, right? Now I have the base file name of the file. So let me append the base file name to the URL. So again, I'll go back to the URL and the URL is going to be this, and let me append the base file name. So workflow variable, base file name, and I'll type in .xml and I'll click on OK. Here I need to give it credentials. So I'll just put in my email address. Perfect. Now, next thing that I need to do is I need to find in the XPaths to go ahead and extract the fields. So what I can do is I can use an online XPath tester. So I'll open the site and let me paste this XML first. Now next, I want to extract fields such as the name and address. So to do that, okay, first and foremost, let's look at this particular site. So I first need to access the root. Okay, I'll first need to access the root. So I can say /test XPath. Okay, it gives me the root and it gives me fields. So next I need to access the fields. So let me do text XPath. Yes, it returns me all the fields. Now next I want to access the name field. So I'll click / and I'll click on name. Click on test XPath. Within the name, I need to access the text property. So to do that, I can just type in text, and here, my friends, is the XPath that I need. So I'll copy this, I'll go back to my designer and paste this in. In addition to that, I will also store the result. To store the results, I need to create variables. So the first variable that I'm going to create is going to be the name variable. So single line of text, that works for me. Okay, I cannot use name because it's an internal name. So let me put in name 1. Perfect. I'll click on new, and the next field that I want to create is the address and then the phone number. So address and then the phone number. Perfect. So I'll close this, and firstly I'll associate the name 1 field here. I'll add output, and this time I'm going to use a similar XPath, right? So I'll go to the XPath tester, and this time I need the address. So it's instead of name, it's going to be the address test XPath. It's correct. It's returning me the email address. So let me go back to the designer, paste this in. Let me store it in address. Next, I need to add another XPath, and this time it's going to be the phone number. Perfect. So I have the phone number as well. I'll copy this XPath. I'll go to the designer and I will paste this in and add a variable phone number. So this is how query XML will look like. Now I have the query XML configured. Next, what I want to do, okay, next what I want to do is I want to set field values. So what I'll do is that I'll type in set field values. I'll drag this action here. I'll click on configure, and here, my friends, I need to set fields. So name will be set to the workflow variable field. Understand this, name 1. Perfect. Click on save. I'll just copy this and I'll paste it twice. Okay, paste and then paste, because we have 3 fields to set. So I'll just configure it again. We need to set this. Okay, I need to change the column as well. So I'll first specify the email address column, and I will set this to the workflow variable address. Save, and then let me configure it again. And let me set this to phone number, variable phone number. Perfect. So this is it. This is our flow. Wasn't it easy? I'll just publish it and we'll try to run it. So this is published. Let me go to legal review. Let me quickly run our new flow. So I will click on the three dots, click on more, click on workflow, and click on our new workflow, that is Nintex extract. And here, my friends, I have the field, but I don't have the given name field. Let me see why. Configure this action. Okay, it should be the given name that I need to set, because see, my friends, this is important and this is a good learning curve. The column name is given name. So I'll set the given name to the workflow variable name field. Click on OK, save it, publish it. And I'll go back and I'll try to run the workflow again. Fingers crossed. Let's see if everything works as expected. Perfect. So here I have the name as well. I have the email address and I have the phone number. Pro tips for me, you can go to workflow settings and also set this workflow to start when the item is created and when an item is modified, such that the workflow is triggered whenever the item is created. You can also set up conditionals as well, for example, conditions, which will help you only trigger the workflow when a specific condition meets. You can also extend this functionality. For example, if the manager approves it, only then extract the fields. So this is a demo which will help you extend your existing functionality. And I assume all of you will have form-based PDF in your organization and you want to extract data from them. And this is my solution. Thank you for your time and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.